This super weapon tier list is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to take all 6 of them. You heard me right, there are 6. The BFG, Crucible, Unmaykr, Hammer, Untouched, Hammer in Horde, and the Chaingun Shield. Why is that there? You'll see what I'm talking about. It'll all make sense. First of all, the BFG, we have to rank this from epic to trash. Where will it go? So the BFG obviously gets a good spot, but how good? See, it clears the entire room of enemies. It's almost like a panic button, if you want to call it that, and it just makes that whole wave disappear. Except the super heavies like the Barons and the Tyrants, those kind of stay around, which is nice, so it's not a complete delete button, but it is kind of somewhat. And we gotta talk about balance too. If you do a direct hit, that does reward you with good damage, and the BFG does get stronger the longer it's in the air. So if you can get, well, that's what the codex says, if you can get a shot on a Tyrant and direct hit, it'll wipe out everything else too. Thankfully, we only have 2 shots max. Back from 2016, we had the 3. There was, I think, 32 BFG pickups in the whole game, I counted, and ammo boost pickup, which meant that you got it from kills. I once got 5 BFG in one arena. Actually, multiple times. So with that being said, where does the BFG go? Epic, awesome, decent, meh, or trash? We're gonna say awesome. Yeah, it's not epic. It is, but I'm not putting it there for a reason. We will get to that in just a second. Stick with me here. All right, what's the next weapon? The Crucible. The Crucible is, without a doubt, pretty much an instant sync animation, instant glory kill. Whatever you go up to, save a Marauder, which you actually can Crucible, or you could back way when the release of the game happened, you would stagger them and then you could chop them off. But that's the thing about it. It's so good, but it's kind of boring in a way. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm playing Ultra Nightmare and I want to win at all costs, I'm going to use it. I really am. You do get the 3 charges, and of course, the only way to get it back is to get the pickups. Actually, I remember covering some fake leaks that people thought were going to happen, and they said that you got it back from glory kills, which is not true. That's closer to Blood Punch. The Crucible, like I said, it's an important story element, and it's a really cool thing to just go vroom, just lightsaber it out like that. I bet that's actually where they got the influence, now that I think about that. So if we really have to say the Crucible, is it going to be epic, awesome, decent, meh, or trash? Oh, decent. Because when you use it, it's either going to be like a Tyrant or a Baron, which is super good to get them off the field because they are very high, 7 and 10,000 HP, 7 for Baron, 10 for Tyrant, but that's really it. Archviles are probably the best usage of it to get them off quickly, but all in all, it just doesn't have the power of the BFG or the epic tier thing that we're going to maybe put on here. You'll see what happens next. Hold on, it's a Samuel impression. The Unmaykr. Well, nah. The Unmaykr gets a lot of hate, not a lot of love. I did a video on it back in August 2020. People have tried to mod it, people have tried to fix it up, and it just does not seem to deliver. And that's just the thing about this Unmaykr, is that if the BFG and the Crucible didn't exist, I always said this, it would actually be decent and I would use it as a use for Argent ammo. The simple fact is, I'm so sorry, Mayo, if you're seeing this video right now, it is outclassed by the BFG in terms of arena destruction, and it's also outclassed by the Crucible in terms of single target destruction. I'm sorry. And the thing is, it's not a bad gun. I mean, you are more ammo efficient when you take down a Tyrant with the Unmaykr than if you just waste a BFG cell, but you're more than likely going to be better off using a BFG cell to get rid of the arena and damage the Tyrant severely, because if you're just up against a Tyrant, it's just not a trade-off that's worthy. I know some people use it as a finisher in combos, save some of the other weapon, but at what cost? If it works for your playstyle, by all means, do it. You know that I'm not going to pick on you and tell you like, oh, you can't play this way or that way. I don't care. Play how you like. But when it comes to efficiency, if that is what you're looking for, I don't think the Unmaykr has it, at least in my playstyle. It's just for me. I don't hate the weapon, I just don't feel like I get a good use of it. Maybe I just suck. You know what? This is hard to say. I wanted to put it in trash tier, but I'm going to do meh for now. I don't know if I'm going to change my mind later or not. It's hard to tell. But I put it in meh, not trash, because you can still kill stuff with it, I guess. I'm sorry. All right. Hammer in the base game. Man, well, the base game meaning the 2 charge variant in Tag 2 and also in the World Spear Master level. This baby. I'm telling you what, you go play a World Super Master level without using that hammer and you will feel a difference because it wants you to. They kind of like balance, they did balance it around it. So if I'm going to say hammer in base, especially in Tag 2 without the buffs, it's meant to be a celebration of the series. I get that, Tag 2 is. The hammer is so freaking powerful because even before the upgrades, I mean, you get ammunition from it. You do like 800 damage. Did you know that a quad damage hammer will kill a Cacodemon? Interesting. So you do damage, area of effect all around. You get ammo. If you flame and freeze them, you're rewarded with armor and health, just tons of it, and only 2 charges. I mean, that's a Mancubus. Ping, ping, like double shot espresso right there on each of his weak points. You got it back. Revenant, bing, bing, you got it back. Arachnotron, bing, and then Glory Kill, you got it back. Having only 2 charges makes this thing not a hammer, but a spammer. See what I did there? So in that case, I'm going to have to rate the hammer of the base game. Epic, awesome, decent, meh, or trash. Well, thank you, Commander Valen. It's going to be awesome. All right, so next up, hammer from Horde mode. Well, in case you're not familiar with the difference, the hammer in Horde mode requires 4 charges to be able to use instead of 2. That is double, and except for the hammer pickups, which give it the full charge back instead of a half, which is interesting. That may be done intentionally just as a last-ditch effort to help you out. I feel like the hammer in Horde mode and other mods like Kaiser Campaign is more balanced and fair. It is a super weapon, but it's too frequently used if you have only 2 charges. I mean, you really do get to use it a lot. So it depends on your outlook. It depends on what you want out of that hammer. Do you want the spammer that you can integrate into your playstyle and just boom, 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 knock enemies out left and right, or do you want the 4 charge to use more sparingly and make it more of a special occasion? Because with that hammer on the base, if you overuse it, you're going to end up like not doing the falter system like you need to, not doing core fundamentals of that game that you really need to do. Not everybody may do that, but some may. So with that being said, where does Hammer of Horde go? That is a tough call. It's not that tough of a call. Well, we know it's not trash because it's good. We know it's not meh. That's also good. We know it's not decent because it's still extremely powerful. I mean, just look at like a Marauder, you SSG hammer. He's out of commission and you can 1 cycle. I remember when this thing came out, people were upset that you could do that to Marauders. Like, oh, you just trivialize the enemy, which, I mean, honestly, we've been trivializing him for months now with Sylar combos and such. That being said, it's going to go in awesome again. I just can't make it epic. Base hammer is not epic, but that's fine. Awesome is a good tier for it, I think. And by the way, if you disagree with any of these, let me know in the comments and just consider commenting, letting me know, interacting. Seriously. Okay, the final one, the Chaingun Shield. This is going to be a good one. And why did I even put this on this list? Well, let's check it out. The Chaingun Shield is one of these options here. The reason this is on the list is because it's not trash tier. I didn't mean to do that. It is, I think, as strong as, if not better than any super weapon there is. But where does that put it on the list? It should be a super weapon because offensively, it's very good with the shield bashes, and the shield launch kind of sucks. It's only 150 damage, but the defense is 360 degrees, recharges every 4 seconds. If you do a chainsaw, that's 3 seconds. You can buffer out, just have an instant shield. It stops nearly everything, and it essentially God mode. It should be a parry that you flip up and then flip back down strategically, but it is not. It is God mode. And with that being said, the Chaingun Shield does deserve a spot on the super weapon list. Not at trash tier, not at meh tier, or decent. Right at home, alongside nothing else in the epic tier. I believe it. If I were to get rid of all the other super weapons, I'd keep the Chaingun Shield. I would use it over BFG. We'll talk about that more in another video probably because it's a beastly mod. But be sure to subscribe to the channel, check out the next video on your screen, and throw a tip in the tip jar if you really want to support the channel in that matter. And I just really appreciate all the support everybody's giving me over this challenge I've been doing for these uploads. So my name's Allstin. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.